So I've been working out here on the $10 tip racer. I've been going around and just trying to clean up all the rust, and I made a fair improvement. And I thought, I don't really like these handlebars. They're a tad uncomfortable and they hurt my back. And I thought, how on earth am I going to go about removing these? So I stripped back all of the handlebar grip tape and managed to figure out that you can remove this bar here to give you access to that screw in there, which is what holds the whole thing on the handlebars. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that side too, and look at sticking a spare set of handlebars on, because my back really does not like being that bent over. So I'm going to see if I can't raise the riding position a little bit, and yeah, we'll see how we go. So it's a real mess of bikes in here at the moment. What I really want to start focusing on is the vintage roadie over here. First I've got to try and find a few better spots for these bikes to get them out of the way, because I've got the Giant, the Mk5 and the Mk2 all stacked up here, and there's just not enough room to move. The reason why I haven't touched the Mk2 frame in a long time is because that's a frickin' wasp's nest in my handlebars. Now, it looks pretty dead and empty for now, but the last thing I need is bloody wasps coming out at me, so hopefully that'll hold them in. Okay. So I've managed to squeeze the Mk2, the Mk5 and the Giant up the back there. Down here in front we've still got the Mk3 and the Mk4 frames. They'll be right there for now, they're out of the way. They're both pretty rubbish. But we're going to pull out the vintage roadie and have a better look at that. Alrighty, now I've already gone a long way to preparing this frame for an engine, making sure all the drivetrain was rust free, making sure the brakes are all working, and I even changed the roadie handlebars, which are currently sitting over there on the Mk3 upside down. Now this is a what is it, a 27-inch bike that's actually got a 700C back wheel, and the problem is it's got one of these frickin' stupid, I have struggled to get the right amount of air pressure into this tyre, because all I've got is a crappy little hand pump. But I'm going to go ahead now and see if I can get some proper pressure in there, because that's the main reason that I stopped this build. There's no point putting a rag joint on here if I can't even get proper pressure into that tyre. Alright, so the tyre is pressurised, but I just hate these valves, and I cannot find a tube that has the normal valve like the front tyre has. That's a 27-inch and this is a 700C inner tube. Because of where I am, I cannot get my hands on an actual 27-inch tube, at least not cheaply anyway. And considering I have $0, cheap is the only thing that I can afford to do. Alright, now I chose this frame specifically because there was a ton of room and I did not want to have to change the cranks. Now I've widened this out as far as it'll go just as a mock-up. I'm going to sit the engine there and just figure out how much clearance we actually have. But if I can do this without actually having to change these cranks, even if the transmission's going to hide most of the pedal anyway, I'll make deal with that. I'll figure something out, but I just don't want to have to go around changing all this crap because it's a pain. Alright, so all this is just sat there, and this is what I was going for the whole time, was clearance. Now, as soon as you look at it from this angle, you kind of see what the problem's going to be. If I try to pedal, my foot will only be on about this much, so that's a problem for another day though. So I think we're gonna move forward with this build one step at a time. The next logical step is getting that rag joint on the rear wheel.